52 mindset means having a hustler's ambition and ambition of a rider. Shit, I hope that gives the lines depth.
Why everyone stopped like that, son?
I don't understand.
That shit was crazy. Nah, I don't like it. Nah, we gotta do that again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah! Y'all was so worried about to make some motherfucking noise.
Here we go.
Thank you.
Jesus.
Yo, this is motherfucking 420 episode edition of 52 Mindset.
Yes, sir.
You already know. It's your boy Hollywood Deuce, a.k.a. Two Fingers.
And your bitch 40-40 for the block. No 40, but slacking. I just got a shot.
I'm rocking with you.
Beers in the fridge.
I'm rocking with you. What you fucking with? The how you say that? The beer?
No, Tecate.
There you go. Shout out to that shit.
Shout out to the
Tecate.
Tecate.
Yo, special 420 edition episode. We got here. We got a special guest.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
This gentleman.
Come to find out is another, I believe there's like 6 degrees of separation.
That's correct.
You know what I mean? Like there's something in common somewhere.
In reality, it's just one other person.
But just let me talk, man. It's a fucking movie.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, 6 degrees, my nigga.
You know what I mean? But there's
found each other at a reunion.
Yeah, and brought us here, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So first and foremost, let me go back. Shout out to Fish Scale motherfucking sound, man.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
bloop, motherfucking bloop.
My man Rollo in the building. But that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like we have that connection to the common denominator is Fish Scale. You know what I mean? And,
yeah.
And I just want to say shout out to them, man. Appreciate them bringing us these artists. You know what I mean? That just to come on this platform and tell their story.
Not even just artists, like just all around cool ass motherfuckers. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? That's just been consistent. Even prior to them being on the show, like just hearing their stories or even seeing their shows and performance has been good money.
And I know this gentleman we have here, you actually you came to an event here.
Yeah.
Before. Okay.
And he was performing.
There you go.
Another fucking wild ass performance. You know what I'm saying? Shit was live. My man, when I tell you like this is a hip hop artist, like my man rap. He has the voice of like a fucking mixtape freestyle rapper.
I dig his flow.
You know what I'm saying? And just fucking great guy, man. Fucking cool dude.
Where'd that voice come from? I thought we passing.
That wasn't the St. Patty's accent.
My fault, man.
No, that was something different.
Who we got here, Black?
But we have my man's, the homie. How you want? I was gonna say the Mathew effect, Mathew B, Matt, he's here.
That was dope. That fucked with that.
You fucked me up with that one.
I just had 38 names.
That was good, yo.
How we do, man? How we do?
That was the best one I ever got so far.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, brother, man. First and foremost, man, thank you for being here.
Thanks.
It's my pleasure.
What I mean? How you doing? How you been? What's going on, brother?
Yo, I'm doing good, man. You know, chilling. It's 420. So it was a good day. I mean, every day is 420.
Yes. Where we at?
But you know what I'm saying? It never hurts. We have Fish Scale, you know. I like being here because I always feel comfortable here. When you in a place enough times, you know, you start to get comfortable. Like you guys know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you walk in, open the fridge. Hey, what's going on?
Everyone has the seat they like. Like you know exactly what's where. You know the temperature of the room and shit. It's
facts.
Like takes the facts.
Go in
also.
the bathroom, make sure the toilet paper in there.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, make sure there's still soap in the dispenser.
You know not to trip when you take that little step down.
Exactly.
How's it been? I know you working over here in Fish Scale, man. You know everybody got their own experience and stories, man. So how's it been for you?
The most part, I think I actually only recorded over here once when I did a record with Soulflow and Vega. But
shout out to Soulflow.
Andy's been mixing our stuff. We record all our shit basically in the crib, just cause convenience. We're pumping out mad songs, like sometimes 3-5 songs a day, like a bunch of songs in a week. So it's like we're always just kind of working. If we spent the time in the studio, we would be wasting the time going from place to place, you know. So we just send the bundle,
send the stems. Got
and
you.
It's like it's going. But Andy's phenomenal, yo. If you ever need any mixing, mastering, obviously the podcast crispy. But if you ever need another testament, you could go bump my shit or anyone else's shit who's from here, and then get your shit mixed and mastered here. It's like
shout out to Rollo. Shout out to Fiscal. We call him Rollo.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? That's the name we gave him. So that's Rollo right there for us.
That's AR, Andy Rollo.
There you go.
There you go. Got another one for you, brother. So talk. I know you said you do a lot of the shit in the crib, man. So like, what's the process for you, like, man? Like walk us through.
All right. So for me, I guess the process starts I'm always trying to get in there. So I'll hit my man Bonani up, my favorite producer. Me and him just always working. He actually produced my whole last project, Yellow. So that's always like, we got a good chemistry. So for me, it's the moment I pick the day I'm going to go to the studio, I make up my mind. I'm like, all right, one song, fully fleshed out, 2 verses, hook, maybe a bridge. Or I'm like, all right, now I'm just going to go in there and see what happens. Or sometimes it's like, nah, I just want to get one long rap out. You know, there's always a feeling. So from the minute I leave the crib, I start getting in that mind state. I don't listen to no rap because I don't want to feel like I go in sounding like someone or steal someone's idea and shit. I'll bump some crazy random shit. Take the walk, no matter how far I am.
What you bumping? What's your crazy random shit? What gets you in the zone? Right? I mean, it seems like that's what gets you.
Yeah, like I love like soul music for the most part, but that has taken me to so many different avenues of soul that I'm listening to shit from like Korea, shit from Japan, shit from France, shit from all over. Like Trey, just on the way here, has put me onto Spanish joints, and we were talking about how everything got that vibe. Some days it's trip hop, some days it's like some fucking crazy poppy techno shit. Some days it's some rock shit. Some days I do want to hear rap, but it's like I never go in there like wanting to hear the shit that I love the most, because you don't ever want to let that throw you off or like you get too influenced. Because the people who influence you, they're always gonna have influence on you from if they did when you were young. So like when I hear like Hove or like even like 50 Cent, it's like I think about that shit, like that feeling when you're a kid, like hearing like Dirt Off Your Shoulders or something. You're in 5th grade, you don't know what the fuck they talking about, but you're like, damn.
Shit, I was in college.
I mean, shit, I'm showing my age.
Showing mine.
It's all good, bro. Yo, but you feel me though, because even that's a thing. Because even being in college, like you'll remember that shit, you know, specific, and then you go back to that. My shit is I always want to go forward, so I want to hear some shit that's new, fresh. I'm not thinking about maybe could get sampled. We get into the stew. I go right to work, smoke. By the time my guy's making the beat, the minute he has the tempo down, I start hearing him. He ain't even laid the sample yet. He starts moving the sample around. I start writing. I'm already ready. Like it's like the juices are flowing. Like everything's been building up to this moment. You know, it's like you ever been mad hungry. And you so hungry when you take your fork and you're about to eat, saliva drips out your mouth. Like you're like, fuck, I'm starving. You know what I'm saying?
All the time.
That's how I feel when I rap. So
Still
it's like,
feel like you hungry, although you already ate.
That's like the process, you know. And then you hear it, and it's like another. My girl's texting me like, babe, come home. I know she's fucking around, like she's just joking me, like, babe, come home, but she wants me to get my shit done. But like, you'll be like, oh, I gotta go, and then it's like, fuck it, one more beat, and then it's like, oh, one more verse, and then
once you locked in, you locked in, man.
And then
you can't stop. You have to finish.
Yeah, and then it gets to the point also like it gets to the point also that like you might just want to like, yo, beat your record. Like if the most songs I ever wrote in a day was 7.
What do you mean by that? Okay.
Like right, I like one day I used to do one song a week, and I would be completely content. Like, oh, this was the best week ever. I made a song. Shit's fire. Like, yes, it's okay, but then I would do like, you know, I'd go to the studio, he'd make the beat, I would fuck around and just like take it home, write to it. And then I started writing in studio. And then next thing you know, it's like we're doing one song, finishing it, fleshed out in like an hour. And then one day did that shit in 15 minutes. After you do that shit for an hour for like a month or two, it's like you start doing it quicker, you know? So you start doing it 15, 30 minutes from beat getting made, song getting recorded. So we start pumping like 3 out at a time. Like I could leave with 3 songs every time if I wanted to. Sometimes I choose to focus on one. There was days we did 4 or 5. It's like there's days we did whole projects in one day, just like feeling the energy, spending until like 5 a.m. there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But then at a certain point, I just wanted to test my pen, and I was like, yo, how many songs can I write today? And I did like 7 joints, and then I was like, yeah, but these shits is kind of like, they were all trash. It was like, because I went into it like that just to see what I could do. So I forced mad shit, but it was like, all right, at least I know it's there if I need it. Because even the shit I might think is trash.
Not all 7. Sure, that's what I'm about to say.
Even the shit I think is trash, some people might think is the most fire. You know, one man's trash, another man's treasure. And I think as an artist, I'm always consciously thinking about where I got to go based on what I already have, not what I already have out. So what I think is old to someone who's never heard it is still some shit they never heard. So it's like sometimes you'll make like, yo, when you're making songs as much as me, it's like sometimes the songs I made 2 months ago, I forgot about those shits. And I hear them and I'm like, oh, fuck, I want to drop like that shit. Yo, that's just what it is. That means you love your shit, bro. That's a great compliment. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. That's just the process.
Like I said, I'm not a rapper. I mean, I'm on some tracks. I'm out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing crazy. Shout
I'm
out
out
to my
here,
man,
you know what I
Rollo. You know what I mean? But like I said, that's why I like hearing everybody's process. Go ahead. Go walk right through my motherfucking camera. She be all right. Like I said, I like hearing everybody's process because I get to see it. You know what I mean? Like just walking through block shoes. You know what I mean? Like just watching him from behind the scenes, actually being in the studio. You know what I mean? Like that shit is nerve fucking wrecking. Like there's no. I mean, I talk my shit. Don't get me wrong. I do a podcast. I say, hey, I could talk my shit all I want. You know what I mean? But like when it's time to get back there, then it's like, you know what I mean? Like 3-2. Like, that 3-2-1 is totally different from this 5-4-3-2-1.
Yeah.
It's just a different feel. You know what I mean? So it's like, and y'all do that shit flawlessly. You know what I mean? And you can tell by the music that you produce. You know what I mean? That comes back out, man. So like I said, I always hats off to y'all, man, because that shit ain't easy. You know what I mean? So keep doing y'all thing, motherfuckers. Real talk, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate that shit a lot.
I want to talk. I know you threw out some of your inspirations. You know what I mean? I know you said you from Astoria, Queens. You know what I mean? Born and raised, correct?
Yes, sir.
My man. So talk to us. What's some of your music? What was your ears listening to growing up? Little Maddie. He call you Maddie B. I don't know. That's what you call him?
No, I said Mathew B.
Nah, you said Maddie B.
He said Matt. He didn't say Maddie. He
My
said
fault.
Matthew. It's
I said
okay.
I would never say Maddie
I
B.
said
That's
Maddie.
some little white singer kid on YouTube.
Listen,
It is.
Oh,
What?
shit, it is? Shout out.
What the fuck you talking about?
Shout out to John Bodies, man.
Never heard of it.
But yeah, bro, like what?
I don't know what you talking about.
What would you listen to growing up, man?
So like growing up, I just I didn't really have no real I didn't have a taste in music at an early age because I was just really hearing what I grew up with just my mom, so I basically was exposed to whatever she would play, and she would play like in the crib. She played a lot of shit that at the time I thought was the worst shit ever, but I've come to appreciate it. Shit like the Carpenters.
Okay.
Which I OD fuck with them now, but when I was growing up, I was like, this shit is horrible. And then it's Dalida is a famous Egyptian singer, and she sang in mad languages. She sang in Arabic, French, Italian, Spanish, sometimes English. She was filthy. So I used to hear a lot of her shit in the crib because I'm Egyptian and Lebanese. So it's my mom would just be sometimes playing Arabic shit, my grandparents or whatever, but Dalida was fire. And then just my mom would throw on VH1 or whatever the fuck pop radio station. So I would just hear the shit that was out, but not really the ill shit. I wasn't really exposed to rap early on. But
You was bumping whatever was on the TV, top 20, top 40.
I'll never forget, when I was in first grade.
Oh, you gonna tell his age again?
When I was in first grade, yeah, I'm gonna tell my age again. When I was in first grade, I remember seeing the video for "Fly Away" by Lenny Kravitz. You know what I'm saying?
First grade.
And I was like, yo, I was like, yo, I think I'm gonna be I think I gotta be a rock star or some shit. That shit is ill, son. You know what I'm saying? And that video was super ill for me. So I saw that, and I remember being young, I really fucked with Craig David, that kind of R&B-ish type sound and shit. And then I guess that's just what kind of those things kind of started easing me into the hip hop and R&B world. Then you start getting older. By the time I was in fourth grade, that shit was inescapable. You know what I'm saying? And then when I was in fifth grade, 50 Cent drops, and it's you know what I mean? Queens.
I'm about to say that
Queens in the
Queens?
50 Cent era was stupid, dude. It was stupid. It was I was telling my girl didn't grow up here. I was telling her the other day, I was just yo, the 50 Cent era had motherfuckers that had no business dressing street, wearing the baggiest shit, drinking Arizonas out of brown paper bags and shit, horrible, bro.
With the tank top,
looking silly with the G Unit tank top.
I hated them shits.
And the S. Dot Carters.
What?
I had those. I had 4 pairs of S dots.
Look, I got a couple of young ones. They don't know what the G Unit tank top.
No,
y'all don't know. Yeah, niggas don't know.
Probably wearing it under your hoodie now,
They
nigga.
still got them.
yo, they put them back out after the Super Bowl, but that shit flopped.
Oh, that's nobody buy.
Nobody bought
That
that
shit
shit. They were
that shit
nah,
ain't
we
look the same.
good.
That
son.
nigga didn't fit in his. I
That
was
shit ain't look the same. You can't bring that back.
But yeah, just a lot of that shit. When I first got into rap, I think it was on a very surface level when I was younger. Then through my teenage years, you start listening to more and more shit, and then everyone you hear
Fifth
becomes
grade,
your favorite
50,
rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Middle school.
Yeah.
Where you at? Middle school.
Middle school, I'm listening to whatever's on 106 in Park.
Okay.
I'm basically at that point 6th, 7th, 8th grade, living and dying by the shit that you're getting in music videos and shit like that, buying CDs, hearing some of the cuts on them, but basically always coming into a CD from the aspect of a hit song. Like, I remember, like, I started fucking with Twista heavy because I fucked with Slow Jams and Overnight Celebrity, and I bought the shit, and then I started listening to him, like, oh, he's actually hard as hell, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like rapping, like, but it's like, you know what I mean? But you're a little kid. How you supposed to know? Oh, yeah. I mean, I wasn't even thinking about it like that, but when you say it like that, oh, he's smoking these raps, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? Like, shit like that, like, you get into the swing of it from those angles and shit, and then in the internet era, that's, you know, when you start being able to really get everything, like the mixtape Wayne and shit, that was like a heavy influence for me. That's why I wanted to get on every beat and shit, you know, and like we were just
didn't matter the genre, didn't matter.
Nah, cause that's kind of what made it like 50. Nah, but 50 really did that shit, like where he was getting on like R&B beats and shit, and then making them like rap songs. And I think Wayne turned it into like a ill freestyle, cause 50 was doing it like a song. Wayne was doing that shit like, I'm gonna give you 129 bars, and for the last 3 bars, I'm gonna smoke a blunt and laugh, and you're still gonna get this 132. You know what I mean? It was like, damn. And he had so many joints coming out consecutively that, like, as a kid,
all over.
It's like, but you
hold on. That was crazy. Coming out as a kid, yeah, all over. You sick fuck. What the fuck is wrong with you? That's horrible. Oh man.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, he's coming out with so much shit, and this is the beginning of the era where we started getting addicted to the shit that was like being presented to us like that. Like, before, it wasn't like as easy to get a bunch of shit at once. You had to go buy shit or wait for shit or whatever.
Or LimeWire.
Yeah, bro. But even LimeWire, you have to know shit is out to get it on LimeWire. Like, how you gonna find out? Like, MySpace and the internet like was happening, but the average person's not checking for that shit. You know what I mean?
Hell no.
Well, I mean, it's true though.
Talking about the time.
Mad rappers were coming up off MySpace.
Nigga, I was popping on MySpace. I had 40,000 fans on my shit. Fuck you.
That's crazy.
Shout out to my.
Shout out to Tom. I was probably
Tom.
the only one who kept them. Thanks.
How's the support been going for you, man? How's that? You know, like from the family, friends. Like, what's that been going on?
I think for the most part, everybody that's in my life up to this point is just like the people who fuck with the shit I'm doing. And like, sometimes I'll talk to people and they might not like be tapped in, or they might not like the shit or whatever. But I learned to just accept the fact that like, not everyone you know is gonna be a fan because they know you. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's like a state of mind to be in is like, yo, the reality is like the people the people that know you are always gonna feel like they know you because of whatever history you had or however they see you. But a motherfucker that's your fan for real doesn't give a fuck about any of that shit because they fuck with what you're doing. So the reality is like, for everyone who I know who fucks with me, like, I love them all, and I'm probably talking to all of them. And the people I know who don't fuck with me, it's like, it don't bother me because maybe you're not my demographic. Like, my demographic is people who like this shit. So if you like this shit, then there's a reason. It's probably because you into the same shit I'm into. If you don't like it, you don't. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, you always want the people you don't know to tell you how ill your shit is. Your friend could tell you a million times how ill you are, and you still might doubt it. But I'll be walking down the street, and someone would be like, yo, I heard that shit, son, fire. And I'll be like, I don't even know you like that. Like, you stopping me. You know what I mean, though? It's like...
Back up, nigga.
Yeah. Dude, sometimes I've been in situations where, like, someone's looking at me crazy, and I'm, like, wondering, well, like, I went to a store once. I went to this store, Lick. My boy Mark owns this shop, Lick NYC, one of the greatest skate shops in Queens, you know what I mean? Super dope spot. And he helped me out a lot when I was starting up, did all my covers and shit. And I did shows there. And I had my first mixtape there at the store, and he was just giving it to people who bought shit. And so one day I'm sitting in the store because I used to just mac in there and shit, and some kid keeps looking at me and laughing. And I'm high and shit, you know, I'm a little fucking paranoid. This motherfucker keeps looking at me, he's like,
to smoke this nigga right now.
And I'm just like, after like 5 minutes of it, I'm like, yo, do I know you? He's like, Mathew B, right? I got your mixtape. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, it's new for you though, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I remember there was times when like, Jahar was performing with me, and I was waiting for him to come to this another 420 performance that we had years back, maybe 2013. and we're standing there. I'm waiting for him to come up the block, and the owner of the spot is telling these 2 kids they can't come in because he thinks these kids are trying to come in to smoke and drink. And these kids, like 13, 14 years old, are like, we just want to see Mathew B. And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, this is weird. You know what I mean? And I'm here. So I'm just like, yo, just let them in. Like, whatever. If they smoke or drink, I'll take the blame. But it's like, you don't expect to be hearing shit like that when people who are your friends aren't even tuned in. And it was early that I was like, oh, it's not always going to be that from those people. So I don't expect much. Like, and that's why everyone who I know who fucks with me, I appreciate them even more because I don't expect them to. Like, you know, you almost expect people to not believe in you until you get up, you know?
I'll
So
fuck with you.
I appreciate that.
There you go. There we go. Now, real talk, man. Real talk. Listen to some of your tracks. Just out of curiosity, are you a wrestling fan? 'Cause you do a lot of wrestling references.
So
I mean, from what I heard.
So I'm gonna fuck your head up, right?
Oh shit.
So I grew up and
I'm a
my
wrestling fan,
cousin was big on wrestling, and I fucked with wrestling to an extent,
Okay.
but I wasn't like engulfed in it because my mom always didn't want me to get into shit like that.
Gotcha.
Because she was always worried. But my guy Jahad, big ass wrestling fan, right?
Okay.
And so this is my right hand guy. He's my left hand guy, and I would say Trey's my right hand guy.
Okay.
And you know what I'm saying? So
Shout
it's
out to
like
the
these
fellas,
are my
shout
guys right here.
Absolutely.
But and the reason he's my left hand guy because we both lefties. Not to change.
Oh wow,
right to
3
left.
lefties in there.
Hey,
That
let's give you a left hand.
sounds-
Oh yeah, my bad.
There you go.
Sounded crazy.
Yo, I just gotta.
And you were right in the middle of
I'm like this, like. Got 2 fingers up, chill.
Anyway. So he's a big wrestling fan, right? And so we would talk about it, but he knew way more than me. But he had the WWE Network, and he gave me his password, and I straight up told him to because I was like, I'm gonna just watch all the wrestling documentaries that have mad bars about wrestling, and so that just goes to show the intent. I will learn some shit to rap about it. You know what I mean? To the point where I am a fan, retroactively from learning the history. Even if I didn't catch moments in time, I know exactly what happened because I go back.
Absolutely.
And I even do that shit with like rap. You know what I'm saying? Like I listen to the shit that came before. I understand how everyone kind of paved the way and how important shit is. And I think a lot of people don't do that homework. Like I might argue a rapper with you and you don't know one song by them, but you're arguing against them, you know? So I just kind of learned that like, yo, if you want to learn some shit, just there's no reason to not learn it. Like, you know?
I like that.
That's rap shit, nigga.
I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm not a rapper, but one thing I took away from that, he said a lot of people don't do their fucking homework.
That's a whole fact.
I like
There's
that.
a large portion of the artists now that couldn't tell you a fucking Rakim song or tell you a fucking Big Daddy Kane track. KRS.
People tell me KRS One's garbage. I'm like, you're on crack.
You smoking
Like-
dicks, my nigga. That nigga fire. You bugging.
Look. They don't know.
You bugging.
They
You don't think
know.
KRS is fire, fam?
They don't even know.
Better than what?
See?
What?
See?
What?
Nah.
Just say no. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. I'm sorry. It's not about them.
Word to Jim?
Not today. Not today.
Not today. Not right now. Not never.
We gotta discuss your contract, nigga.
Not never.
Can't
my
say
God.
shit like that.
Damn. See,
Wait.
you threw me off.
Nah,
My bad.
people don't do their homework. Is the moral of the story though.
Yes, that's what I said. People don't do their fucking homework. That's what I was talking about. So I was saying, like, in regards to freestyle, I know we spoke a little bit off the air. You know what I mean? I don't know if you caught one of our episodes, but you had a guest here.
Fucking dickhead.
I just feel like I got to start it off. We had a guest here, you know what I mean, who mentioned that he used to rap, whatever. And then we asked him to give us a little quick bars. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and he gave us somebody else's bars.
He hit us with Eminem bars.
You know what I mean? So like,
And it was a white dude from Detroit.
as a,
Yeah.
I just like to ask.
Well, the episode's out.
I just
so
like
you
that.
guys
I just
more than
like
welcome
that.
I
to
didn't
look
see
back.
that one. We'll talk later. I'll go look at that. That's
No, but just hearing that, and as a MC, as a rap, like, how would you feel about that?
yeah, it's kind of crazy, man.
Because I'm still upset.
I mean, a couple years back, maybe 5 years back or some shit. Shia LaBeouf did that shit too. Do you remember that shit? He was in a cypher in the woods and he like rapped some rap and everyone was like, "Oh my God, Shia
And that
LaBeouf's this
wasn't his
amazing
shit.
rapper." And it was like this underground rapper from some group that was obscure, and they found that it was the exact same verse and shit. I think like
See, you gotta be careful.
it definitely takes balls to do that. Like you got to give respect on one level. It's like, oh, like you were so unprepared. You like copy someone else's homework in that regard. But then it's also like you get no credit when you copy someone else's homework and you get found out. So
then you get shitted on.
Yeah, and I personally like, dude, I've been waiting to tell someone this story because this is such an appropriate story for right now. And my man's was like, yo, you got to tell this at some point. Yo, I fuck with freestyling specifically in a situation like this. Like, I won't even come with a written. So for someone to come with someone else's written is crazy. Like, because for me to come with a written is like, I prepared, and then I try to make it seem like it's on the spot. And I don't like lying to people. It's like, I'd rather it's not on the spot like that. Like, I don't want someone to hear me spit a 80-bar written and be like, that's the best freestyle ever. It's not a freestyle.
That's a whole.
And so basically, when I was younger, it was like January 2nd or 3rd. I don't forget which day. 2013. I never forget the day. This day changed my life, son. We outside of this Currency concert, right? And it's at SOB's, and you dead ass line up to go. You know what I mean? General admission. So we there early. Like shows at 9. We there like 6, smoking joints in the front and shit, just chilling. And you know, you young, so we like fantasizing about like, I'm like, what if I got on stage and rapped? What if I got on stage and rap? But what should I rap? Like, he remembers, you hear him, he's like, oh shit. Like, yeah, this was a trip that he was there, trip down memory lane. But it's like, I'm like, what if I rap? We literally sat there and we're talking about what verse of mine from my mixtape I should spit. And we like decide a verse. Mind you, I have no business thinking I'm a rap. I'm going to a Currency show. It's not gonna happen. So I'm chilling. I got my hoodie on. I got my mixtape in my hoodie. And I'm chilling. I'm just like ready to go in. We go in. We're
doing
smoking.
his homework. He came
prepared.
prepared.
You know how I do, bro. Smoking. Chilling. Jack Thriller is the fucking MC of the show. He's like, oh, he's like, everyone in the first row, introduce yourself. Starts passing the mic around. Guess he literally puts the mic right in front of my face. I would say shit. Hand him a mixtape. I looked at him like, what? Son said, oh, you rap? Get up here. I was prepared. We talked about this. We talked about this. I get up there. I had some shit that was like unanimously my best shit. It's ill. Like, I play that shit today. It's from 2012. I play that shit today, and people be like, oh, you're going in on this, though. You've been doing this a minute, you know? And I'm like, I spit that shit flawlessly there and got booed by like 300-400 people, son. You know how loud that is? And I never ever fucking performed in front of more than like 10 people at that time. I was like, prior to that, son, I was stressed to get up there, thinking this is about to be my moment, and I'm like, I just got booed by 400 people, and I was
up there,
and I'm looking down first row, and I see my 3 boys, and they don't even know what to do because they're like, shit, like we can't help you. He's right there. They're just like,
did y'all boo too?
Fuck this guy. Who's this guy?
I never forget. They booed. They were frozen. They were like, damn. Like it was like, what the fuck? What could you do in that situation, right?
Nah, that's when you turn around. What?
And so I got mad.
That's my friend.
I got mad, and I'm like, fuck y'all. You think you could do better? And they were dead ass like, yeah. And some guy comes up and grabs the mic and starts trying to rap. I thought he was trash too. Jack Thriller takes me to the side, and he's like, yo, I'm gonna keep it real with you. That shit was hot what you were spitting, but you didn't spit a freestyle. You came up and spit a written at a show when everyone came to see someone else. He's like, yo, if you would have spit a freestyle, they probably would have fucked with you. But you came and you spit some shit like mad prepared, and it gave them a reason to hate on you if you were better than them, and to just not listen to you if you know what I'm saying, like, oh, fuck this. Who is this, you know?
Because they knew it wasn't genuine. It wasn't.
But also, you got to think about, if I'm a person in line thinking that other people in line probably thought maybe they would have their moment. And some random person is going to get a moment to, like, rap in front of that many people. All right, shit happens. I get booed, but I left with a valuable lesson. And so I'm a freestyle, son. I'm a freestyle. And this is I literally used to just freestyle in my bathroom in front of the mirror, like after I got a shower, dead ass naked, like I'm gonna look good rapping. Yeah, bro. That's not even a pause, because I was like, yo, I have to be so real with myself. I have to, there's no situation where I'll be embarrassed rapping, because I learned how to rap naked, son. There you go. Like, you feel me?
That's a whole fact.
It's like,
but that's the mindset, absolutely.
No. Yeah, this nigga's like, he's going crazy. His shit.
So that's the beat.
Nah, nigga
Nah,
made a
but you feel me though? It's like
I'm gonna start designing this shit now.
butt ass.
Nah, that's gets him in the zone.
I mean, think about it. You ever seen someone who rap who look like they can't rap? Yeah,
Yes.
you see that shit a lot. It's like someone who gets up on a stage and you're like, oh, this is an amateur, or this is someone who shouldn't even be doing this. You know what I'm saying? And my whole thing was, I was put in a situation where mad people booed me. I was like, that's never gonna happen again. I will give you no reason. So it's like, I'ma look good rapping, I'ma sound good rapping, I'ma rap good. It's like everything that has to do with it, I'm gonna do that shit good. Cause I
If I
want
was
to know.
butt ass naked, y'all was still like this shit.
Yeah, know what I'm saying? Exactly. but yeah, bro. Nah, but it's funny because it's dead ass some shit that I felt like I had to do. I was like, I just want to get dead nice at this, and I was trash. I was trash rapping to myself. Like, damn, you're garbage. You know what I mean? Like you should reconsider. You know what I mean? But eventually, like,
what made you that mindset change? Like you.
I just never stopped.
Okay. So when was the moment you said, boom, I ain't trash no more?
I don't even know. I just kept going. And like, as I went, like.
'Cause that's hard to believe. I mean, I respect your honesty too, brother. You know what I mean? Like it's hard. Like, I remember you saying it too. Like, sometimes listen to some of your old stuff. You know,
I will put it like,
y'all niggas.
I'll put it like
sounds
this.
Dope.
I'll put it like this. It better than that. Like, when I was younger, I always felt like there was rappers better than me that I knew. I always felt like someone was like, oh, like this guy is a couple steps ahead of me. And if we rap together, it would show. Like you clearly, I'm not the best on this record. And I felt like that for a while, like at the beginning. Like I was getting on records with people who, not even to say that they were better than me, they were better at making records than me. I wasn't yet tapped into the part of me that understood like how to do this on that level, but I was doing it and I wasn't whacking shit, but and maybe I was whack. That's the thing. Like I just wasn't like as good as other people I felt. At a certain point, I start feeling like that about people in the industry. At a certain point, I stopped feeling like that entirely. And it's like, I feel like no matter what the scenario is, I'm ready. And I couldn't put a date or time on it. It took a long time. I really got tapped in the most like, I guess right before COVID. Like I came back from Hawaii. I was living there for a little bit. I came back and I was like, I really want to rap and shit. And I got back. It wasn't that ill, son. That's for another. That's for another story. It's for another story. But when I came back, I was like, I want to do this, and it still wasn't really clicking how I wanted it to. Then it just started moving in motion. I started meeting new producers. People started like hitting me saying they fucked with me and shit, and we're working for free. Whereas before it was like they would always hit me like, I want to fuck with you. Here's the pay. And they'd be like, let me just send you some shit. And then it just came to a point where I was like, I just got to always be ready because you never know like who you're going to meet, who you could talk to, what you could do. And it really all stems from having like that one situation where I got shitted on, because had that never happened, I might have been cocky about shit and but I put the work in, you know?
I still respect the cockiness, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You ain't let that shit knock you down and keep you down. You know what I mean?
I feel like I'll at least compete. Like I'd rather lose.
I would have been like, fuck y'all, and I would have never came back.
Nah, I'd rather try.
Yo, my niggas, let's go.
Yo, trust me, I wanted to, but it wouldn't have been.
It was
enough
a loss,
and plus,
regardless,
also like I wanted to see currency. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not trying to get kicked out. But ultimately, like, I just feel like you have to have enough confidence to compete. No one steps in the ring thinking they're gonna lose. Like, think about everyone who fought Mike Tyson. They ain't walk in thinking I'm gonna lose.
Motherfucker.
You know, like that. Exactly. You call them stupid because they thought they could win, but you know what I'm saying. But
I get it.
But the courage to get in is tough. And just at one point, you just start being Mike Tyson though. Like at one point, you're not fighting him, and you're him, and it's like that's just where you want to get.
Yeah, it's all a matter of the confidence. It has to be at all times. Like you can understand your weaknesses, but you got to know how to use them to make them a strength. You know what I'm saying? Knowing it is a strength in its own.
I don't give a fuck. I ain't fighting Mike Tyson.
I likely wouldn't fight Mike Tyson either.
You feel me? Like,
but I'm just saying for the people who did.
Can I bring a weapon?
probably still not a good handicap.
As long as I could just give me 2 feet. Toma, that's it.
I'm good. Matt, if you're not rapping, what else you doing, Matt? What else is Matt?
Shit, man. I like to eat. Like I'm always trying new food spots, cooking in the crib and shit with my girl. Mostly my girl cooks. I kind of just pretend to cook every now and then. I throw some shit down, but she's cooking a lot, and like we're going to places to eat. I make my own ice cream.
Oh shit.
So that's something I really fuck with doing. Like I sell that shit out the bar I work at. It's a good,
What's the name of that ice cream?
I don't got like a name yet. I'm still trying to develop the brand because I want it to be perfect.
Oh, no, I ain't.
Call it Mathew B.
The flavor. No, bad name. My fault.
It's all good. It's all,
You got it. I respect it.
it's all good. But I'm still trying to work all that through. Like I'm been talking to a lot of people trying to get collabs going. I got some things in the works, but I just want the name to come to me just like, in a way that feels authentic. Because every time I sit down, I'm like, I'm gonna think of a name. It's like that's just not the way it goes. You know what I mean?
Can't force that.
Yeah.
It's like freestyling.
Exactly.
Mickey
Tie
eats.
them together.
Other than that, like, I'm just out and about. I like to like just do random shit. I play pool. I watch movies. I love movies and shit. I like to like analyze that shit. Listen to a lot of music. Record shopping is like my big hobby. Sneakers and shit. Like I just spend my time learning about shit that I fuck with. Really, trying to get to that next level.
I like that, man. Like I said, you stay prepared, man. You do your homework on it and everything, man. You know what
bro.
I mean? And it shows, man. Like I said, I dig the style too, brother.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
I dig it, man.
Appreciate that.
If you got young Matthew versus Matthew now, right? What advice would you give yourself
Definitely
back then? Doing what you're doing now.
make more songs. Like don't be complacent. Put out more songs. Like put out everything. Don't worry so much about like trying to figure it all out first. It's better to figure it out as you're going because at least you're going. You know what I'm saying? Someone who stops and looks at the map to try to get directions will have a harder time starting and still stop to get there. But the person who's looking this shit on the map and makes 1 or 2 wrong turns but still gets there 20 minutes late gets there. You know what I'm saying? I think like starting is the hard shit. And when I was younger, it like I ain't have a lot of bread and I didn't have like the right situation to where I felt like I had all the shit I needed to succeed. And I guess that shouldn't have mattered as much. But when you're young and you don't have the knowledge or the guidance to nudge you to be like, nah, that shit that doesn't matter. Thanks. You will stress over dumb shit. You know what I mean? And I basically wish I could give myself the advice to have stuck with it because I took a break from rapping for like maybe like 3 years, 3-4 years where I just didn't even want to do it. Like I would still do it in my downtime, but I always felt like, nah, I ain't never gonna be able to do this shit like the way I want to do it. And in reality, that was just stupid because
What made you slap out of it? Yeah.
when I was living in Hawaii, I worked at a hotel, and I'm doing it overnight, right? And I was talking to this one kid, Dominic, that worked at the hotel, and he would always talk to me about rap. And I told him I used to rap, but then I told him I don't fuck with it no more. Like, and I was just mad negative about my whole experience with rap, and I feel like it made me such a mean person. And so I was just talking to him all the time about rap, and then he was always like, "You should just do it again." I was like, "Nah." And then one day, I'm sitting there and I'm doing like regular shit on the computer at the hotel. Nothing's happening. It's overnight. I'm just sitting there trying to get my work done. And fucking SZA comes and sits at my thing. She needs another key. It's a fancy ass hotel. So she literally just sits down. And I'm like, oh shit. And I'm like, yo, all my homegirls that sing, you're their hero. This is before she like, this is like right after Control, like when she was still riding that wave. But like now she's like out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like it was right before that. Like she was probably recording those songs. You know what I mean? Like she was working, probably working at, it was like 2019. And she like was just talking to me, she's like, oh, I'm coming back from the studio. I'm like, there's a fucking studio? There was nothing there, yo. But like Rick Rubin lived there and shit, and I was like, okay, maybe there's a studio somewhere around here. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of musicians live here. Like some from the Red Hot Chili Peppers live there. Anthony Kiedis, mad people.
It gotta be a studio.
So yeah. So I was like, okay,
it gotta be a studio.
Dumb of me to think there's no studio.
There gotta be a studio.
Dumb of me to think there's no studio, but there was just a lot of shit they lacked. You know what I mean? So because I lived in Kauai, it was very rural. So it was just way different. Like they had one McDonald's on a whole island, one Burger King on a whole island, no Foot Locker. All your clothes was from Ross or Macy's, and there's gift shops. It was weird. It was
one
different.
McDonald's? I don't know.
Yeah, it was, and you had to drive.
I can't do that, fam. I can't do one McDonald's.
Anyway, and that shit was like an hour away from where I was. Like everything was mad spread out. So I was just like, all right, there's a studio. And so I kind of just asked her like what the studio is like, because out of genuine curiosity, I'm like, what the fuck? And she's like, it's good if you got your own engineer. And I was like, oh, that's the worst. Like, so you can't get the engineer in there. You got to send it out and shit. And I was like, I hate, like, sending some shit out and it takes forever. Like, I'd rather get it done on the spot. And she was like, you sound like me. And I was like, oh. And then I just went on about my business. But when she said that shit, like, you sound like me, I was like, I think about this the same way that someone who does this shit on a high level does it. So maybe, like, all right, whatever. And then she kept forgetting her key. So she kept coming to my desk on different days. And one day she was just like, Matt, like, I never talked to her about music again. I just would be like, oh, you know, regular hotel shit. And then when she's like, Matt, I really want to hear your shit. And I was like, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? And then I went back and looked at what I had, and I was like, oh, I don't have anything. Like, I haven't been doing this shit for years. Like I got songs from 5 years ago. That's not what I need to be given to someone like SZA. And I don't even have these shits on streaming. I have these shits as, like, WAV files. Like, you can't send someone a WAV file. You know what I'm saying, son? I sent her the WAV file. Don't get me wrong.
Hell yeah,
But and I, like, you know what I'm saying? I wrote a message and shit, but I was just like, I emailed it to her. You know what I mean? But I was also at the same time just like, yeah, nothing's gonna happen from that. Like, you played yourself there. You know, if I was prepared, like, and that's the shit I started realizing. It was like, okay, it's really just a like being prepared all the time. It's just really a matter of doing that. And it's like, all right, clearly I'm lying to myself. I want to do this shit. Because I'm over here having, like, thoughts like, damn, I wish I had some shit to... All right.
You're even just the thought of wanting
to
to send
So it's like, all right, clearly, like, I got to do some shit. And so I got revitalized. I started writing raps every day. Start writing, like, in my downtime. I'm waking up 6 a.m., Hawaii, sunrise, driving, smoking, eating breakfast, coming home, writing raps, go to sleep overnight, do it again. And I'm lacing shit. I'm making videos of me rapping because I can't make songs because I don't know where the studio is. She already told me it's a whack engineer. I already knew the price was too high.
I don't know where the studio is at.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, I'm literally making videos on my shit, kicking my shits, making and listening to them in the car like it's a song. I was on some shit. I'm listening to all this random shit. I'm listening to freestyles. I'm getting back into the zone. I'm listening to rap again. Every day on the ride home when it was sunset, I'm listening to New York State of Mind by Billy Joel. Want to cry like I can't wait to get back to New York. I'm gonna be a fucking rapper. Like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? And so I came back ready. You know what I mean? First thing I did when I came back, did a record with Mickey Fax. Okay. He came into the studio. That was dope as fuck. We did a record where we go back and forth. You know what I mean? And that shit was dope. And even being in the room with him, like, that's someone that, for me, when I was growing up, I was listening to his shit like, I want to rap like that, like smart and shit. Like, you know, you feel like not just like some average shit, you know? And I just remember, like, the first show we ever went to was Mickey Fax at the Apple Store. I'll never forget that shit. I took a picture with him. I wish I still had that shit so I could send it to him. But we linked up. I met him. I met a producer that day for the first time, too, that we worked with, recording in his studio. And I was just like, yo, this is great. I'm in here with one of these people who I looked up to. We writing. We going back and forth. We did a story song, 4 bars, 4 bars, 4 bars, 4 bars. So I'm writing, he's writing, I'm writing, he's writing. Like, that's crazy, dude. You know what I mean? That's a crazy feeling. Surreal, you know, doing the record. He leaves. The producer's like, how long you guys knew each other? I said, we met today. He's like, dude, I would have thought you guys knew each other mad long. This is all just telling me I'm not wrong about wanting to be a rapper. Like, this is all telling me, like, yo, I got chemistry with people I fuck with that are on a way higher level. I got people not even thinking that it's some shit like you think we're friends. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Like I'm flattered that you think that that's the company I keep. You know what I mean? Right. But you come back starting like that. What you gonna do? Flop? Like, you know, you got to go hard. So it's like, all right, now I got to keep going harder. And I just never stopped. And then COVID hit, and I struggled to put a project together. But that's when I met my boys Bronani and Laka. They known as the Translations when they're together. Yeah. Bro, 2 of the dopest producers I ever heard in my life. And me and Bronani, he lives not far from me. I brought all my equipment to his crib. We just started making records, recording every day. And like, it was like, that's what we're doing during COVID. We were making records. Yeah. Just making projects, and that's kind of just how I got back in, bro.
And that's you have the project out now, right?
We got Yellow, which is that's a story in itself. That's some shit that I really really enjoyed making. So,
and that was all through COVID.
That was all through COVID. That was like Yellow was from, I would say, May of 2021 to June of 2021. That month, I did the record in 2 weeks, and then we added 2 songs 2 weeks after that I just happened to make over time. But we were doing that shit it was like very important to me to finish that shit fast. I did that shit in like 3 sessions, 3 songs, 4 songs, 3 songs to finish the initial 10. And then I just had 2 more random songs that I made over the next 2 weeks that I was just like, oh, they kind of fit the sound. But what was great about Yellow was basically, it was like I was watching all these Italian movies during quarantine, these Italian horror films, giallo films. Giallo means yellow. So that's what they call Italian horror films, is giallos. And I produce a little bit myself, but I'm not really good at producing yet, like at least not in my opinion. Like I'll make a good beat every like 6 months, and then I'll just struggle to make beats for the next 5 months, and then, you know, maybe I'll get it, you know, lightning strikes every so often. But I was like trying to figure out how to step my game up in terms of samples, and I started looking into like the soundtracks from these giallo joints. So I went to my boy Bonani and I was like, yo, I want to make this shit with all these Italian horror movie samples. The samples are crazy. And he was just like, can I just make this shit for you? And I was like, oh, that works out so much better because the beats aren't going to suck. So we just were locked in, dude. And we did that shit like 4 days time. You know what I mean? Just like banging this shit out, mad inspired, going for it. And that was a good time, man. Like, and then we like to get, and everything, you know, everything comes together. Like we get the shits like painted. I don't know if you ever seen the cover. Like we got the cover painted by this super dope artist, and like she did that shit we did before the night of the premiere, which we also did. We have the release party for that here? Or?
We did, I think we did. Yeah, that was the first one we did.
Yeah, that shit was off the chain. That was a good time. Both of them were crazy. Every event here is crazy. You got to do an event here. Thanks. But basically like she was painting these covers for us, so she makes this like realistic movie poster kind of look. It's just like, it's a whole package. It's like, I love that shit. You know, the concept is tight on Yellow. But meeting them is really just what sparked me to get into this zone, you know? It just, and to make those projects.
That's what's up, man. And you know, before we let you go, and I know there's a whole bunch more we could talk, and we definitely want to bring you back for part 2.
For sure.
You know what I mean? But let us know, like, what can we look forward to, what's coming out next? You know what I mean? Where they can find you and everywhere, brother.
For sure. So you can follow me at The Mathew Effect. It's Mathew with 1 T. And that's basically just Instagram. I don't really got no other shit right now, but eventually I'll have all that other shit. I'm lazy. And right now we're going to be dropping a few singles. I got a single, Uncles, with the first shit we played when we came in here. That's going to be with me and my boy GQ over there. And that we got a video shot by G Media, super dope videographer. That filthy, can't wait to see the video, but that's going to be coming soon. Me and my guy Trey, who's also over here, we got another record called Grape Diamonds. We just shot the video for that with my boy Mr. Videographer guy. Super dope video. We were in the train tracks, killing it. Very excited to see both of those, but we're going to be hitting you with a bunch of singles. I got like my next like 5, 6, 7 singles already like recorded. I'm just planning to release them, do some videos, but sometime in the near future, hopefully I'll hit you with another project. But for now, it's just we got too many records.
Tap in.
Yeah. Take them now while they're free. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Catch them. Definitely catch them here on 52 Mindset, brother. I appreciate you pulling up, man.
I got.
Much.
If you want to do a freestyle though, I still got you.
Oh, I did say that.
I won't.
No, we can show homeboy how it's done,
brother, man. Bitch. End us off, brother. End us off.
Can we? You want? Can we get a beat or no beat?
Oh shit.
I mean, I don't care what beat.
We don't have to go acapella.
Acapella.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, he's serious. He really smokes. Right before he rap.
I smoke while I rap.
That's what I'm talking about. I like that. I can't talk your shit.
How should I start it?
I don't know. Yeah, give me something.
Nah.
I'm gonna give you something.
Nah, you ain't gotta do it. You ain't gotta do it.
All right.
You ain't gotta do all that. You could. You ain't gotta do all that. I ask how you want me to start it because I just want them to know that this shit is really a freestyle. But I'm just the cat that steps through an OD style. I could hit him with the ODB style. I see the snakes in the grass, but you know that's not me, child. I ride around town spitting the flyest raps with all my rap cats in the back. You know I got the cat out the bag. Because when Matt's in his bag, oh my God. And every chick that I bag is not an old hag. I bag the finest cuties. But I only got one. And she got the finest booty. And you know she the one, cause I'm spitting that shit like Mike Epps and Friday, son. I don't play no games or say no names. These cats is lame. I could spit the same shit a million times and still make it iller rhyme to anything that you could find, yet still I'm vilified. Stop it, son. You don't want to see the villain flying like MF Doom, King Ghidra on the hoodie. Why would you ever step to the MATHEW with the B at the end? My name is Matthew, but still you couldn't comprehend what I'm saying, cause you don't see me. And then every time you see me, appreciate me just in case you don't see me again, cause I be spitting this shit so crazy I'm leaking a phlegm. I don't give a fuck what they saying when they speaking to them, cause if you not speaking to him, then you not speaking again. Stop it, fam. I spit the illest rhymes off the top, and damn, I don't even have to stick to the topic, man. I could flip a million flows cause I'm the bionic man, the $6 million Steve Austin with the Stone Cold Stunner in Boston. You don't want to see me like Larry in Boston. I'm shooting it off and I ain't even taking off the warm up. I keep the hoodie on. It's all what? I'm Michael Jordan with the dunk, slam, cradle, man, god damn, I jam like Fire Slammer, Jammer, Hakeem Olajuwon, Clyde Drexler. I used to make beats with my homie Dolo at Drexler University in Philly, eating cheesesteaks. It was silly. You don't want to see me get silly, but I ain't Soldier Boy, you feel me? I be kicking ill raps every time I want to. I could go as long as you want me to. I don't give a fuck. I ain't sitting at the fountain blue, but every time I'm up at the beach, the fountain blue, the fountain of youth. I just choked on my words, but I don't give a fuck, cause it ain't gonna change my view, my opinion of you or anyone that's in your crew. Cause when I step to anyone rapping, you already know what happened. Start clapping. Come on.
Hey, make some motherfucking noise. Mathew B, 52 Mindset, your boy Hollywood dude.
40-40 for the block, no 40. Yeah.
52 mindset means having a hustler's ambition and ambition of a rider. Shit, I hope that gives the lines depth.